Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do another great workout you can do in your home. What we're going to need today is a tube or a band set up about chest height, a set of dumbbells, probably a little bit on the lighter side, one heavier dumbbell or kettlebell, and a fit ball if you have one. If you don't, you can use a playground ball or a pillow or something. And that is it. The other exercises involve body weight. Remember to come into these workouts warmed up and ready to go. I know I say that every time, but it's really important to get your heart rate up, get your blood vessels open, get that blood flowing to your muscles and get them warmed up before you start working them a little bit harder. So let's get started. We are going to start with a chest press today with your bands. So what we're going to do is face away from the wall. And depending on if you have handles or just the band, I find it's easier to put the handles on the inside of my arms so that then it doesn't scrape across my elbows and my arms. So we're going to step forward. So we want to stagger your stance so that your back doesn't try to take this. So we're going to press just forward. So this is a similar muscle group that push-ups work, just a little bit different fashion here. Okay, so we're going to push forward and slowly come back. You're going to want to keep your abs engaged. 3, 4. Remember, you can always step out further to make it more difficult, or step back closer to the wall to make it a little easier. 6. Keep breathing. 7. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. 8, 9, and 10. Good. Slowly both directions. Don't let that band control you on the way back. You want to control it both directions. Okay, good. Now we're going to pick up your kettlebell or a little bit heavier dumbbell. Remember to always pick it up with good form. And we're going to do a suitcase squat. We've done this in the past, but we're going to do it just a little bit differently today. We're going to do one whole set hanging on with one side, one arm, and then we're going to move to another exercise. And then we're going to come back and do one whole set hanging on with your left or your opposite hand. So you want to start with your feet about shoulder width apart, not super wide, because you're going to squat down and keep this weight just on one side. So you're going to need to keep your shoulders level. So you're going to need to engage your core. So you're holding that weight on one side, straighten out your shoulders, make sure you're nice and level. You can watch yourself in a mirror if you need to. And we're just going to sit straight back. So still using that good form where you sit back into your heels. You're going to tip at the hips here and your knees. Everything is bending if you need to. You can put something in front of you like this so you can hang on and sit back just a little bit more, because we don't want to be going like this. You want to sit those hips back. 3, 4, staying as level as you can with your shoulders, keeping that abs, keeping that core engaged. 6. If this is really difficult for you, grab a lighter weight. 8. And use something in front of you to hang on, like a kitchen counter or something sturdy like a banister or treadmill or something. All right, so that was 10. Now we are going to pick up your set of dumbbells. This should be a little bit on the lighter side. We're going to do lateral raises with your shoulders. So let's add a little balance challenge with this. So you can either stagger your feet, tandem stance, or stand on one foot. I'm going to stand on one foot, shoulders down, and you're going to lift your hands just to shoulder height, not higher. It's very common for people to want to go up like this, and that's not good, especially if you have any shoulder pain. We don't want to create impingement or aggravate old injuries. And if this doesn't feel good out to the sides, you can bring it a little bit more diagonal. So it's not really a front raise, but it's a little bit more diagonal, kind of in the more natural form of your shoulders, especially if you have a little bit rounded shoulders. You really want to focus on bringing those back so you're in proper form here. But if you really have those, those rounded shoulders that you can't quite pull back, it might be easier to do just a little bit of a diagonal here. You can also bend your elbows if you're having any shoulder pain. And what that does is it shortens your lever. One more. And 10. Good. And always you can grab a lighter weight if it's too challenging. Okay, so set those down with good form. And then we're going to pick back up that other dumbbell or kettlebell. And we're going to transition to the other side. We're going to do 10 more. So remember, sit back. Try to keep your chest up nice and tall. If you can't go all the way, that's okay. If you're just here, that's okay. You can, if you're still using good form, even if you go part way, really squeeze those glutes on your way up. 6. Really keep those abs engaged. 7. 8. Keeping your chest up nice and tall. Weight back in your heels. And 10. All right, set that down with good form. All right, good job. Okay, now we're going to lower to the floor. We're going to do a bird dog. So down on your hands and knees here. And we're going to do it just a little bit differently today. So I want you to have your hands directly beneath your shoulders, knees directly beneath your hips. And we're going to reach out with one side, one arm, your opposite leg is back. And we're going to do one whole set on this side. What we're going to do is take it away from center. So I'm going to level up here so you can see I'm going away from center. Still staying level. 5, nice and slowly. Try to keep your back as flat as you can, thinking about a teacup on your back. And you're keeping your head in line with the rest of your spine. 10. All right, now we're going to switch and do the other side. So arms straight out, legs straight out on the opposite side. Just bringing it slightly away from center, really making your entire posterior chain work. I'm kicking my thing here. 5, 6. You should really be feeling this also in your core a little bit. And 10. All right, good. You can sit back in child's pose and really stretch out those arms and glutes. And then we're going to stay down on the floor. We're going to flip over on your back. Okay, so now we're going to do bicycle abs, which we've done in the past. But a quick reminder, start with your feet flat on the ground. And then you want to flatten your back to the floor. This is going to protect your back in this exercise. So we're going to straighten out one leg. If you already know how to do these, get started, go ahead. Remember, your goal is to keep your back flat here. So anytime you need to stop and readjust and get that back flat. So we're going to start here. You can just switch your feet. If that feels doable, put one leg off the ground, put your other leg on the ground. And if that feels doable, then try both. If you really cannot maintain your back flat to the floor, try doing it with your legs a little bit more bent. So you're not going to straighten it out all the way here. We'll just keep them a little bit more bent because that keeps that lever shorter, making it easier to keep your back flat. Keep breathing. And 10. Good. If you do have any back pain with that, make sure you stop and readjust and then re-tighten, re-flatten in the middle or every 3 or whatever. But you remember, you can also then just do keeping your knees bent a little more, and that will help maintain that back, flatness that we're looking for. Okay, one more. We're going to stand up. So I want you to stand up nice and slowly. Remember, get up on your hands and knees. Make sure that you're not dizzy each step of the way. And then go ahead and stand all the way up. Just in case, always make sure you're standing next to something sturdy in case you do get up and start to feel dizzy. Okay, the last one we're going to do is another balance exercise. And we're going to take your fit ball, if you have one. If you don't, You can use a playground ball, you can use a throw pillow. If you don't have any of that or you don't want to be bothered with it, just use your arms and mimic what we're doing here. So we're going to take this ball, stand on one foot. If that's too much, do a tandem stance. And we're going to go around in a circle. So you're going to kind of frame your face so that you should be able to see me the entire time. We're going to go 5 times. 4, as slowly as you can, and making that circle as big as you can. 5, okay. And again, you can always make this more challenging. You could stand on a balance pad, you could stand on a balance disc, you could stand on a throw pillow, you could stand, now we're gonna go the opposite direction with the ball too. You could do this more times. So instead of doing it 5, do it 10. But really, the point is really having to center while this extra, it's not that heavy, but it's coming way off to your side, and you're having to really focus on maintaining that balance. Keeping your core nice and tight will also help you. Also, another way to challenge yourself is if you're focusing on a spot and that is making it pretty easy, look around. So change your gaze, or you can watch the ball. That would probably be the ultimate challenge here, is to follow the ball all the way with your eyes. I just lost my balance. Okay, that was 5. Okay, try to pay attention to which direction you went, and then the next time around you do it, try to go the opposite direction. So maybe the first time you could go, all direction, both feet. The second time you could go all direction, the other foot, and then try to mix it up with the third set. So the more times you mix that up, the more challenging it is, and the more benefit you'll get from it. Okay, go ahead and do these 1 to 2 more times. You can add some cardio in between. Make sure you stretch and cool down afterwards. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you next time.